So it's International Women's Day on Sunday, and we thought we'd catch up on the changing relationship between women and their work. Recent research by PwC suggests that female millennials are the most confident and ambitious of any female generation, and much more likely to believe that they can reach the top. Well, let's discuss. We're joined by PwC's Associate Director for Human Resource Services, Tumi Seaketso. Great to have you with us, Tumi.
Thank you.
So this is exciting. First, explain, what do you mean by millennials? What age group are we talking about?
We are talking here about the generation that was born between 1980 and 1995. These are typically characterized by your technologically savvy, digital, so quick feedback. Those are the typical people that we're talking about.
They've grown up with phones.
They've grown up with phones. It's instant feedback. And as a result, even in the workplace, you find that they need that instant feedback because of that typical sort of tech savvy, and this is how we've grown up.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me how their outlook is different from previous generations, particularly when we talk about women. So these are young women entering the workforce.
And they are entering in large numbers, highly educated, more confident and articulate about their career. They know what they want regarding their career path and career progression. Almost half of them in the survey indicated that they'd like to have career progression, and as you've alluded, they'd like to be at the top of their companies, top levels of their companies. You know, that's where they see themselves growing.
So they don't see the glass ceiling. They know by the time they progress, it will be gone. That's the belief, basically.
They don't see that glass ceiling compared to the previous generations, you know, whereby there were certain things that they would see impeding them. These ones are very confident. They are saying, I am going to grow. Whatever it takes, I will grow in my career.
It's lovely, and I think a lot of the research suggests that women in the past haven't been as confident as men. They haven't asked, for instance, for salary increases. And that partly explains that wage gap. So I guess if this inherent belief is there, these women will go for what they want and more likely get what they want.
Exactly. One of the trends that we've seen from the survey, the things that they require from attractive employers, one of them is competitive pay and incentives. So they are saying one of the things that will attract to me is competitive pay, and I need some incentives. So they are saying it out. I need it, and whatever it takes. It's a holistic picture. I'll get it.
But does that mean they're not coming into the workforce very demanding, job hopping, things like that, when they're dealing with managers who are from previous generations? Is there a bit of a tension here?
Well, it's about understanding the generation. They are not really job hoppers per se. It's about understanding their needs. And if you tend to listen to them, they articulate themselves. And one of the things that it's coming clearly out from the survey, if they know the career path, because that's what they want to hear about, clear performance feedback, instant feedback, you will manage to have this generation, you know, staying with you as a company. So it's a mindset change for older generations to know how to manage them. Once you understand their mindset, which is completely different from previous generation, these millennials are there to stay.
So what's your advice for managers dealing with these younger women? You say instant feedback, so constantly telling them how they're performing, things like that.
Constantly telling them how they're performing, but moreover, what's my career path? Do I have career path here? Do I have anywhere to go here? If they don't hear that, and if it's not honestly, you know, they want honest feedback. If it's not said in an honest way, in a prudent manner, they're willing, the nice part is they're willing to take this feedback and work with this feedback to grow. So for managers, it's for them just to understand that typical feedback that's coming through and work through.
Are the old obstacles there? It's often been said that women leave the workplace often in their 30s to have children, and that's detrimental to their career path, which is in people's minds, you know, a level of progression. Also, sometimes pushback from men and from other women when you're too confident and dominant at work. Does this research point to anything about those other obstacles or I guess presumably they're easing as well.
They are indeed easing, and one of the typical things that came from the research is the myth around younger females leaving the workplace because they want to have children, they want to have families. That was indeed, only about 14% that indicated that they would have left their previous employers because of that. Most of them, almost half, are saying, I left my previous employer because of career progression and lack of career progression or lack of clear career path. So
that's no longer a major block.
It's no longer a block at all, no.
I'm very interested in this wage gap that seems to be falling away, if this research is correct. And maybe you can distinguish between South Africa and the rest of the world. But 66% of female millennials in a dual career couple earning more or the same as their partner. So that's a majority, no longer a minority.
Yes. What we're seeing is that, as indicated earlier on, highly educated and large number of them coming through. So what it does, we now are on the same career path, we are on the same track. As long as we're both competent, as long as we've got the expertise, we're going to earn the same if I'm not going to even earn more than you are doing. And indeed, the research shows that 66% with about 24% being primary earners in these kind of relationships. So it is in a way getting itself to a point where this wage gap will
so a sign that the wage gap is basically vanishing. Thank you so much. And next time we'll have to talk about what this all means for men, I think. Thank you so much. That was Tumi Seaketso from PwC, and that's all we have time.